On this episode of China Uncensored, Chinese leader Xi Jinping has a Chinese dream. And if you're going to dream, dream big. Like the size of New England big. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. China has already begun working on what will be the largest city in human history. And they call it Jing-Jin-Ji.
Jing-Jin-Ji would knit together three distinct geographical areas that span 82,000 square miles. It's roughly the size of New England.
I can't even picture that. No, seriously, I mean New England? How about regular England? Actually, it's much bigger than the entire regular England. And its population would be greater than the largest 100 cities in America combined, plus the entire population of England. Yes, they want 130 million people to live there. What could go wrong? Well, for one, Beijing already looks like this now with just 21 million people. And for two, that's an insanely big city. Why would the Communist Party even want to create this? Because money. They want to help the economy of northern China keep up with the more prosperous south. To do this, the government plans on doing some serious social engineering. Beijing will be the center for politics, culture, and technology. Tianjin, with its valuable port access, will focus on research and manufacturing. Hebei well, it seems no one really knows what Hebei will do. But for this plan to work, there are some serious problems that need solutions. First of all, where do you put 130 million people? As it is, living in Beijing is next to impossible. Real estate prices are already so high that the average worker will never be able to own a city home in their lifetime. So people will move into one of the many apartment complexes being hastily built. Hopefully not as hastily built as this one in Shanghai. And even if the buildings do manage to stay up, these distant cities have their own set of problems. Schools are overcrowded, sometimes 65 kids to a class. Hospitals offer only basic services. Streets flood in the rain. One city in Hebei has grown so quickly that it has 700,000 people, but no bus terminals, no movie theaters, and only 2 tiny parks. The next problem, transportation. If Jing-Jin-Ji is part of Xi's Chinese dream, getting around it will be the nightmare. In 2010, there was a traffic jam 62 miles long that lasted 11 days. Highways are haphazard and unconnected. Then there's public transit.
The line for the bus can go on for blocks. Although her commute to Beijing is only 20 miles away, it will take 2 hours each way.
By 2020, the government hopes to complete new highways, subway lines, and high-speed rails. But that's years away, and new housing is being built much faster than infrastructure. And here's the fatal problem facing Jing-Jin-Ji. For this megacity to work, the government of China would have to fundamentally change its tax laws. As it is, cities aren't allowed to have property tax. This means no money for new schools, roads, hospitals, or the buses that get people to their jobs. You might think, okay, then they'll just change the tax laws. But that's not going to happen, because the central government wants local governments to depend on it, not the other way around. The Communist Party is like Bowser, king of the Koopas. Sure likes embarking on large-scale construction projects, astronomical military spending, and new innovative transportation schemes. But at the end of the day, how much does it really care about the well-being of individual Goombas? So, what do you think about China's plan to build the biggest city in human history? Leave your comments below and subscribe for more episodes. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time. Now, if you've been following me on Facebook, you might have guessed it. I've been planning an interview with the man himself, Chinese leader Xi Jinping. But just because it would be stupid doesn't mean it won't happen. You see, US firms want access to the Chinese internet market before homegrown companies can develop and squeeze them out. And in order to do that, some US companies are willing to bend over backwards to appease the Chinese regime.